And welcome to SEO Podcast, the unknown secrets of internet marketing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fun-filled Thursday. We're recording a day early today. What's today?
Thursday.
I don't even know what today's date is. What's up? Welcome back.
It's the day before Mardi Gras. That's not exactly why we're having a podcast early. I just know that you are actually heading out tomorrow, right?
Yes, I am heading to New Orleans to see the fam.
To New Orleans.
Yeah.
I heard on the radio somebody they were talking about how they should they were thinking New Orleans should sue Galveston for stealing the idea of Mardi Gras. Did you realize that it's actually
That's
a
dumb.
religious-based ceremony?
Yeah.
That there's a reason it's in Louisiana
For real?
because
So they should
the
sue
biggest
South
one is
America?
in Paris.
They should sue South America for Carnival.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Seriously.
And I think it's the
same celebration.
big
just
one is
different
up in France. I mean, that's why Louisiana,
Oh,
the
I didn't know that.
French influence. It's a
I didn't know
Catholic
that.
holiday. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's your little religious tidbit of
It's
trivia
Stupid
for
People
today.
101.
Yeah. This is podcast number 98. You are listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. We really appreciate you listening, and if you're getting any valuable information from this, and we know you are, go out and submit a review on iTunes or submit a review on our Facebook page. You can find that Facebook.com/ewebstyle, Twitter.com/ewebstyle, another way you could stalk us. And you've got YouTube.com/ewebstyle, and you can send us an email at podcast@e-webstyle.com.
You can go to our homepage, ewebstyle.com, and we have links to all of these places on our homepage.
Everything. And you can actually be watching this if you're listening it. Make sure you start tuning in. Usually it's 9:15 Central Standard Time on Fridays. All you need to do is go to e-webstyle.com/SEO podcast.
Yes.
And that'll take you to our SEO podcast page where you can enjoy the fruits of our podcast labor.
You got it. And before we get started, I want to spend a special shout out to
Wait. We decided
Okay.
we don't do shout-outs.
a punch in the face.
Punch in the face.
Well, she won't get this because we had grew up together.
Oh.
Now my homegirl hit me. I was like, "You do a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, fool."
Internationally recognized podcast.
So I want to say a shout out to my homegirl, Ampi Bassa in Oslo. And I'm not sure if that's Switzerland or Sweden or
I think
Swaggerville or where. It's one of
Yeah.
it begins with an S.
Oslo,
So what's up,
yeah.
Ampi? I want to say, hey, I'm gonna send you a link to this podcast.
As always, our last podcast 97, we had a tip. The tip was good SEO starts with the right keywords and good content. How about that for like a back to basics
That's what's up.
like tip? Again, keywords and content. We always talk about in real estate, it's location. In search engine optimization, it's keywords. Yes, thank you. So go back and check out podcast 97. We had a lot of good stuff. I actually did a pseudo rant. I didn't really go for it, and it felt good. Anyway, remember, we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers, where we tell you don't be a douche and we punch you in the face.
Yes. Don't be a douche. Listen to our podcast. And if
Exactly.
you like it, tell a friend. Hell, tell your SEO company.
Tell you exactly. Maybe they can learn a thing or two. A little bit of news. This is I don't know if you guys are like real techie. Well, I know that actually. So you're aware of Linux. The German Foreign Office spent 10 years trying to switch to Linux. Has decided they're going to go back to Windows.
Okay.
So that's not
10 years down the drain.
does not bode well for Linux.
Yeah. So a bunch of people lost their job. A bunch of programmers lost their job.
Yeah. 0.02. I don't know if you knew Gmail was having a problem.
I did.
0.02% of their customers are experiencing some problems where they've either lost all of their mail or they can't sign in, and there was a period of time where the mail wouldn't actually, it was actually an upgrade that went awry. And I was just trying to think, 0.02%, it's probably still a ton.
It's probably like a million people.
And on a similar note, Microsoft and Yahoo will not reveal their email uptime stats.
Really?
Yeah, we're not really up that much.
Oh.
And we don't want to tell you
That's
officially what it is.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, I mean, mine always works. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that anybody cared, to be honest.
Apparently, it's probably down regularly. You guys, if you listen regularly, and we know you should be, because we are the Red Bull of SEO, Google has actually pulled some malware, pulled some applications out of their Android. So what I was saying is, if you listen, you know we all like Android here. And so be careful if you got
Android market,
out of the Android marketplace.
Because I recently found Google has a couple apps that have the Android marketplace as well as the App Store. If these aren't mobile apps, these are just apps that you can download to your PC. I found that if you use Chrome, you probably know what I'm talking about. I use Chrome. That's like everything that I use. You can download apps to your Chrome, like homepage kind
Paul
of.
tends to go towards the shiny things.
Yeah, I'm like,
ooh,
look
Chrome.
at that.
Ooh, look at that.
So I thought that was cool, and it sounds like they're coming out with something called Campfire, but we'll get into that later.
Okay, we're running our Gino time limit here. 5 things that the iPad 2 is missing. There was an article. It was a lot of little stuff, and it totally missed Flash. Like, hello, that would be number 6 at least.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. Oracle is actually in control of Java and MySQL. And those are open source platforms. And so the reason I pulled up the article, was, is Java and MySQL going to thrive under the direction of Oracle? And it's a little weird to, I don't know, it's just interesting.
Well, I guess somebody's got to be pushing it forward, but I thought that whoever created those things would be
holding on to it or something. I don't know. And usually I know that the terms of use for open source are very specific. Like they were specifically designed so that no one could ever profit off of them.
Okay.
Ever. And so they can't be sued because there's no way to make a profit. And blah, blah. And it's really interesting.
Well, Oracle found a loophole.
Yeah, just buy it. I don't even know how that works. I've got a couple of posts on our Facebook. Actually, here's one that was on our blog. What we do, and some of you may have found us through this process. We actually take the audio from our podcast, we transcribe it, we put it on our blog, and there was one that we wrote, problems with Google Boost. And Mark Kennedy wrote, and I thought this was good. I ran into similar issues. I saw the Boost campaign details show up in a client's AdWords account, right? But I couldn't edit it. I ran a search query report, and the broad match keywords weren't even close. I called my AdWords rep, and she suggested I call the places line.
Yeah. Kennedy, yo, hook us up with that number.
Yeah, if you got that line. And he did say I called, but the rep didn't understand anything about broad match or negatives, so I just canceled it. It's a shame because to allow negatives it would work better, and this goes back to we're running Google Boost. It's a pay-per-click Google local places ad, and you have zero control over keywords. It's amazing that Google would even with all their expertise in keywords, why would you put a product out that is so, I mean, it's not even as good as what Yahoo does. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah. That's risky ground here.
Hey, so Mark Kennedy, punch in the face. Thanks for that great support.
Hey, I'm not even playing. Like, send us that number. Yeah. That wasn't even a joke.
We don't care if she doesn't understand anything. We'll at least have somebody that we can call up once a
repeatedly
week and complain. What about our Google Places ad? And we've got one other one. It took us a while to figure out his name because it was, I'm assuming, written in Hebrew, and we don't speak Hebrew, nor do we even really understand the collection of characters that create the language.
Coolest friend request I ever got, man. It was like squiggly line, exclamation point, hashtag, dot. And I was like, that's what's up.
Dude! It's either super nerd or a foreign language.
I was like, wow, that's cool. Guy, was this Guy?
Yeah.
Did he sign Guy?
Yeah, well, here he signed Natty Kalsi. No, Guy Nimny.
Guy.
Oh, somebody else liked it. Okay, so it was Guy Nimny. And here's what he said. There is no doubt about it. You guys are making a great job. Since I found out about your podcast on my iPhone, I'm working Android. I almost stopped reading there. That's so stupid. I'm working with my headphones all day, moving from one podcast to another, trying to keep up until I'll finish all of your previous podcasts. Thank you guys. I'm learning a lot and laughing all day. Wow, that's really cool. He doesn't know if he's the first one, but we do have a new fan in Israel. So
that's what's up, man.
That is what's up.
That's very cool. I looked at his Facebook page and I was like, this looks so cool, but I can't read any of it. I was like,
and I promised you there's a special punch in the face for you there, Guy, for that guy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some meat of some stuff.
We're
going to talk
mobile
mobile
SEO.
again. All right.
Mobile is, I said at, I think, our first podcast, 2011 is the year of mobile. I think last year was the year of mobile. Next year will probably be the year of mobile. So I want to talk mobile, not just mobile, but mobile SEO specifically. There's been a lot of things coming down the pike, algorithm changes. We talked a little bit about that. I want to get more into that later, but now let's talk mobile, right? Everybody who listens to this podcast probably has a smartphone. I'm going to say everybody listens to it. So this is important because everyone, you spend a lot of time on your phone, and you need to make sure that your people that get to your website, the mobile version of it, if you have one, it renders correctly, it loads properly, and stuff like that. So
this is probably a little more, what I'm about to say, it was just recently disproved. So I'm going to say it anyway, and then eat my words. It's probably a little more applicable to real brick and mortar stores, right? So if you're brick and mortar, you got to have mobile because people may be looking for your store while you're out. I look up stores and restaurants and everything all the time when I'm out, even when I'm on my way there. So if you've got some ad or something you're going to put, make sure you're taking advantage of mobile. And the reason I say it was just recently disproved, and I'm going to quote. Since I found out about your podcast on my iPhone. Yeah. So
so he found us, I guess.
Yeah, he found us mobile. So we probably need to have a mobile SEO podcast page.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about how to get one very quickly because I learned something when I read this. I was like, wow, I didn't know you could actually do that.
And what are we reading?
We are reading an article from Search Engine Land. It's called The New Mobile SEO, What You Need to Know by Cindy Krum with a K, Krum. It was written,
a while back.
Wow,
that's useless. All right, what are we going to cover now?
Okay. I'm going to read this. I'm going to kind of read and paraphrase some of this, but basically I highlighted some great stuff from this article. Basically, it talks about mobile search engines have different bots and algorithms that are used than traditional web search. They evaluate your website if it's being rendered on a mobile phone, and they rank the results partially based on how well the page renders and the type of phone they are submitted. Okay, so point number one, there is a completely separate bot that will index mobile sites and a completely separate algorithm that is used to rank those sites. So you need to be, probably get a mobile version of your site. How do you do that?
Step one. I like that. We'll put that down. Step one.
And another thing to remember is that these mobile bots and mobile search engines, they're not as finely tuned as a traditional search engine. So
what does that mean?
Well, I'd say that
I think it means they're changing daily.
Yes. Yeah, so they won't necessarily, and this is one thing that I read in this article, just because you have, a mobile style sheet or a handheld style sheet, or you have it rendered for a browser.
Mobile style sheet.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a second, because that's what I learned. Just because you have done it the right way, it doesn't always catch like a traditional search engine would. So there are mistakes in it. And then here's a key point, like these mobile search engines, they still place a heavy weight on on a website's mobile bounce rate, since they're not that finely tuned. They don't have all the specifics of a traditional search engine algorithm. So it places a heavy weight on your bounce rate. So you need to take that into account when you are designing your mobile site, or when you're designing your site, if you're just going to use a mobile style sheet. All right, here's one of the things I learned. This is basic mobile SEO and website architecture. One of the best things you can do to improve your mobile search results is follow traditional SEO best practice as closely as possible.
So that would be go back and listen to all of our podcasts and apply it to your mobile page. Good.
Yes.
Check.
You need to have things like title tag, mobile bots, indexes, they're different, but you still need to have the same SEO things like title tags, header tags, alt tags. Those things are still very important. All right.
It almost goes without saying, don't keyword stuff.
Yeah. Don't do the same stuff that you shouldn't do for traditional SEO. Okay. Step number one, very first step. You want to create a secondary mobile style sheet for your traditional site and call it handheld.css. I read this and I was like, what? What is that? I had no idea that even existed. I mean, I don't.
A style sheet?
Yeah, well. I mean, I don't do many. I don't.
You don't do the coding.
Optimize much mobile. So
I didn't know that was at this point, I must interject because we've made errors in the past, and our error has been we do websites. Mm-hmm. And at this point, we do mobile websites.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in a mobile version of your website, let us know.
Yeah, I will not be coding it. Just so that you know.
Just so you can breathe easy.
I'd be like, mobile websites? What is that? But cool. This was so you can take this is what I learned. You can take your normal website and build a mobile style sheet for it. I was like,
so it
wow.
renders totally
so
different.
it renders completely different. I was thinking, all right, you need to build a mobile site, which is a separate site. But there are some drawbacks, and I'll get into that later. Handheld.css will allow you to format the existing pages of your current website for viewing on a mobile phone without having to create separate mobile content. It allows you to leverage the SEO value that's already built into your site.
Read link juice.
Yes, for without having to create new pages. Mobile phones, except iPhones, will automatically pull the handheld style sheet. Now, this is not exact science. It doesn't happen. It happens most times, but they say it doesn't happen every single time, right? So you need to remember that just because you build a handheld doesn't mean, every single mobile phone is going to pull the mobile version of your site. It can come with the regular.
Do a little bit of research. Everybody who has some other type of phone. Say, hey, pull up my website.
Let me take a look at it. The next step, include a mobile sitemap. Again, I'm like, what is that? Mobile sitemap, wow. So point number 1, you want to create a mobile style sheet. Point number 2, you want to create a mobile sitemap. Google has a tool that can help you build a mobile sitemap. So find it on Google, because I looked for it, I couldn't find it. So sorry.
If you find it, email it us.
Yes.
Put it on our Facebook. Post it on Facebook.
Yes.
Please.
All right. Now, when you have your mobile sitemap, you want to be sure to link your mobile sitemap into your robot.txt file, just like you would for a traditional website. So there's there's 3 good points. Submitting a mobile sitemap, adding a mobile style sheet, these are pretty much good enough to get the mobile search engines crawling your website. So that's a good start to go. You also want to remember that anything that is, what I read in the article basically says, anything that's sloppy, anything that's considered sloppy on your website is going to be considered extra sloppy on your mobile, like bad JavaScript, poorly coded HTML. That's, you don't want to have that.
Well, and I really like this. This is really kind of a bullet point, which is, when do you know that you need to build an entirely separate mobile site? And it says, if you have large file size, if you've got sloppy code, or lots of multimedia content, you probably need to have a separate mobile version of your website. So just the style sheet won't work. It makes sense, right? The bandwidth is usually restricted unless you've got an Evo and 4G. Ooh!
Yes. If you're using lots of JavaScript, lots of Flash, lots of Ajax, anything that's got a lot of complex code, those pages probably won't load properly, even with the handheld style sheet. So you want to be careful of that. Anything that's very large, you want to watch that. One of the things, it says you might need to create a mobile subdomain or a subdirectory like www.m for mobile ewebstyle.com for your website. So that's one of the things you can definitely take a look at. There are some drawbacks to this. I don't think I want to get into them just yet. All right, here's a few different ways you can
bring out the master.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's bring out the mobile master.
Let's bring out the mobile master.
That's right. Optimizing mobile websites all day, every day. Mr. Charles Lewis.
Charles Lewis.
This is what he does for a living, ladies and gentlemen. He created the mobile phone.
By the way, at the last podcast,
Don't believe it.
there it is. On the last podcast, we talked about Charles's response as the SEO rapper to the PPC MC. We hadn't seen the video yet, right? Like we didn't have time in the morning to see the video, so it's live. And it is live.
Yes.
I mean, it's killer. The comments you're getting on YouTube are like, oh yeah, it's like Lohan. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go see the video. It's actually posted on our
Sheen.
Chuck created a new term. Sheen.
Sheen.
Yeah, Sheen.
Or
That's
I'm
my
Sheenism. Yeah, okay. We'll get to that.
If y'all are not in the States, there's an actor here that's like all over
they
the
probably
news.
know.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
the guy's
I
making $2 million was making $2 million episode. Charlie Sheen is just gone batty. Patrick did an interview about Sheen in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely international news. Chuck, although on a more technical scale with search engine optimization, just killed the PPCMC. And I even tweeted last night. I said, "Hey,
Hey, what's your response?"
The SEO rapper is like, "Yeah, bring it," and you're not bringing anything. So I don't know. Maybe he's nervous.
He's setting up to do it live out there.
Okay.
And so
That's what's up.
At CIS, right? That's where it's good. Yeah.
That's
all right.
in Florida.
Search Engine Summit. Yeah, it's in Florida, South Florida.
Cool.
That's what's up.
And you've got plans to be at another event. I know around the corner you were putting together something special for.
Yeah, got something going on for. I ain't gonna say the name right now.
Oh, okay.
Ain't gonna leak it out.
Okay.
It's in Boston. And stay tuned for details. We'll get close to that date.
Details come soon.
Right at you.
That's what's up.
So
Okay.
you've been listening. We're on.
Yeah, we talking mobile.
All right.
Right.
All right.
We are.
Yeah.
All right, couple-
Wow, punch in the face.
There
You
you go.
uppercut to the chin for not knowing about the mobile style.
Yeah, I didn't know
yeah.
that. Straight up, I was like, what? What
It was
is
probably
that?
in a rap you did like 2 years ago
Like
or
in
something.
07. I didn't have a mobile phone in 07. Yeah. All right, couple things to watch out for, right? There's a few platforms and software that you can use to mobilize your website. And these are things you want to watch out for. Most mobile platforms simply take your existing content, your traditional pages, and remove the complex code, leaving only the simple text, right?
Mhm.
But some of them can actually take your domain, especially web-based software. They will create your website in a subdomain of their own domain. So it'll look like this: www.ewebstyle.com.theirdomain.com. There's a big problem with this. What it does is all link juice and credibility goes back to the main domain,
not
not
yours,
your
yeah.
website. So if you spend all this time creating this mobile site, there's no SEO value in that, because everything, all the link juice, all the traffic and the rankings for the mobile content accumulates to their domain. So that's one thing you want to watch out for. So be careful of www.yourdomain.theirdomain.com. So be very careful of that.
One of the things that I think we kind of skipped over actually, which I thought was really important, is how do you handle displaying the mobile, right? We just covered the mobile style sheet. But let's say, we gave you a couple instances where, if you've got large file size, sloppy code, or lots of multimedia content, you probably need to make a mobile site.
Yeah.
How do you get them to the mobile site? There's a process for doing that. And it's easy for coders to actually know that you're viewing the website from a mobile platform, and then send them to the other site.
Yes.
So
just a redirect.
just a redirect, exactly. One of the values of that is it can still maintain your link juice. So you don't have this separate site where you're trying to link here or you're trying to link there. And the recommendation that Cindy made was that you actually first auto redirect them to the mobile version, and then give them the option to get back to the full version. And I'll tell you, I've pulled up eBay on my phone, and it sends me to the mobile version, and Facebook too. And it's so limited.
I'd rather use the other one.
Yeah, and the phones are done well enough now. I'd rather use the other one. So you want to have that option to get them back to the live site. And then she also points out you got to make sure there's a lot of cross-linking between your mobile version and your traditional version.
But especially if you're on a tablet, right? Like, like Galaxy, iPad, or something like that, then the mobile version won't help you.
Yeah,
you want the real version. I never actually thought about that.
Yeah,
because that's a mobile browser.
It's a mobile browser, exactly.
Yeah.
Or Evo with the huge screen, right?
It's debatable.
It looks fine on either one.
And I kind of question, we said this in a podcast a while back, I kind of question now that more phones are becoming smartphones. Smartphones kind of render sites like a normal website. So is the mobile line that's kind of blurring it? Do we need mobile sites if now these phones have these 8-inch screens on them and you don't need the mobile version?
Let me say this. I'll tell you who your mobile style sheet or mobile site is going to work for. It's for all those corporate people who are still using RIM technology on BlackBerry.
Yep, you're right.
If you're Android, then chances are you're using a touchscreen, and the live site will work fine. If you're iPhone, as long as it's not Flash, it'll work fine. But if you're on a BlackBerry, then you'll probably want the mobile version.
I don't know why people just are riding BlackBerry like that.
I used to be a BlackBerry user.
It was a superior technology for. Their push email service was phenomenal before anyone else even thought about doing it in remotely close to that manner. So yeah, it's got a large following and it's great. It works really well in Cora. They've got a lot of enterprise level stuff that can be built into Exchange servers and stuff.
So I guess that makes sense. But
it's just boring now.
Yeah, there you go.
The phone suck. I ain't gonna say that.
And then they got the device.
Droid.
Yeah,
Droid. That's right. That is true.
One other thing to watch out for if you are using some software to mobilize your website is the web page file names. Often, these mobile platforms, mobile conversion sites, they'll use shortcuts, and one of them is your file name. So they'll create bad file names, and that will also lose any SEO value. So you want to watch out for that your file names aren't / tag, squiggly line, blah 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 blah. Make sure that
not the dude.
Yeah, like the guy's name. Click a link, it goes to his page.
So be very careful about what you use to mobilize your site. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to create your own handheld.css. Be very careful about who and what you use. So watch out for those two things.
Got something quick?
Or a couple quick things at the very end. This is more going into the future, where it is going, and
or you want to tease. You got the option.
I think that's pretty much it. Here's a couple things you want to watch out for that mobile can do. Remember, mobile search engines are not as advanced as traditional search engines. So your mobile content can sometimes be viewed as this kind of a downfall, can be viewed as duplicate content, because you're taking the same site and creating just a separate style sheet for it, and a mobile search.
Well, actually,
browser.
no. If you're just using the style sheet, it won't show up as duplicate.
Yeah,
if you're making a duplicate of the website,
that's
where you're gonna bump into that. Yeah.
Caveat that by just making your duplicate a subdomain.
Yep.
If you do another mobile site, then if you're at ewebstyle.com, your subdomain should probably be mobile.ewebstyle.com.
Yep.
And that way you can kind of alleviate that whole duplicate content issue. I got a blank stare real quick for y'all. Let me get out of here.
That's it.
Oh, that was good.
All the way
really good.
That's one of our best ones.
All the way good.
So check practicing.
Practices a blank stare. Don't put a lot of time into that.
And don't quit your day job.
So we were talking about the Sheen earlier, right? So Sheen hopped on Twitter.
Right.
I saw
1 million followers in 24 hours.
Wow. Wow. You know what? Because when I saw that the other day, I'm thinking about following him.
I did. Check his bio says unemployed winner.
I saw Dean posted that on our Facebook page, like, hey, his unemployed winner. Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The Sheen.
He's just lost it.
He's Dunsky.
Totally lost it.
That was funny though.
That was
1
hilarious.
million.
If you haven't seen it, he did an interview that you sent me with TMZ.
Oh yeah.
On their Ustream.
It was a live Ustream, yeah.
Oh man, this guy is just.
Patrick pulled up a quote that he did in 07 or anyway a while back, and the quote was something along the lines of, "Am I real? Am I gonna get caught?" Right?
He said that.
Like, yeah. And what you see,
yes and yes.
yeah, when somebody says things, like, "Oh, unemployed winner," like we know that's a contradiction in terms. He's actually screaming so much that he's a winner because he wants to be.
Yeah.
He really doesn't believe he deserves what he has. That's why he's chopped it all off. And you look at that quote way back, and he's like, it was right after Wall Street came out, and he was like, "Am I getting away with this? And am I ever going to get caught?"
Really happening.
Yeah. So it's sad. It's a great train wreck to watch.
I think it's
just
funny.
sad. Yeah.
I said you saying sad. I'm like,
It's
wow.
hilarious.
I'm tuned in.
I hope
like,
he gets a reality show.
I would
that's
watch
around
it.
the corner.
I would get cable.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Because this dude's gonna fly off the handle, man. Like wow.
They need to do a reality show.
Half of the show would be blurred out.
with like him and Flavor Flav.
Piles of coke everywhere, half naked strippers everywhere. So it'd be blurred out half the time. It'd be
Flavor Flav and the Sheen.
I saw Flavor Flav on a cooking show the other day. Right?
Oh
He
my
apparently
God.
owns a fried chicken cooking store.
Yes, it's supposed to be good.
And
too.
the host, I think maybe it was Wendy Williams, asked him, have you ever dipped your clock in the
the
fryer?
fryer? Oh
He goes,
my
yeah, once. Anyway,
God.
Flavor Flav may be a character everyone's not familiar with internationally, and don't even look it up.
No, Google Flavor of
He was
Love. I've never
he was
seen
a
it.
great promoter, man. What was
Yeah.
the band? What was
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
He was the best hype man ever.
ever insane. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
So
And people overseas are like, what are y'all talking
Yeah.
about? Sorry, y'all.
All right, make sure you go out and check the SEO Rapper's response to the, and I do this, the PPC MC, because it's phenomenal, it's great. Even if it wasn't just a retort to him, if it was just a piece all on its own, it's awesome. Go out there and check that out. It's available. You can find the link to it on our Facebook. You can actually go to the SEOrapper.com.
It's up. Check it out.
It's-
Got another one coming. Inbound marketing. That's the clue I'll give you for later this month.
Oh, that's what's up.
Inbound marketing.
Yeah, I'll let
I
you
didn't even know that, right?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
And everybody push. You're going to these conferences. Let's push to get a battle at every conference between the SEO rapper and the PPC rapper. Ask for it.
Ask for it.
Ask for
By
it. say-
name.
Why y'all trying to set him up like that?
Ask for it by name.
At
So-
some point, it's just going to be like free publicity for him
Yeah.
and a slaughter.
That's what's up.
So it'll stop around that point.
We need a
Hopefully.
somebody needs to come up with like, I'm the social media freestyle or something like that. We need to get a third party in this, so just make it real fun and interesting, or really get his head beat in. So.
Social media master.
Or something like that. Somebody needs to come with something.
The Sultan of social media. All right, this is the end of podcast number 98. We're close to 100, so this is
Very
pretty
close to
exciting.
100.
As we announced last time, we have gone past 100,000 downloads of our podcast. That's because of you. Please go. We didn't get it. We don't have any reviews. Actually, we did have one. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ewebstyle. We've got a reviews tab. Go out there and give us a review. Go to iTunes, create an account, like a simple 2-minute process. Create an account, put a review. We really appreciate that. Keep listening. We're also looking to just get some inbound links. If you guys want to throw some link juice our direction, we'll give you a punch in the face and some link juice back
I
to
like
you.
link love. We'll give you some
Link
love.
love. I like that. L squared.
Everybody else uses link juice. I say link
Link
love.
love.
Link love.
Still trying to get Chuck to come out with this R&B.
Oh,
Link
yeah,
love.
Link love.
Yeah, link love.
Very
Chuck
white.
in like a smoking
Yeah.
jacket.
Then
Yeah.
the Teddy P voice.
Yeah.
I said link love.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So hit us up. Give us some link love.
Link love.
That's right.
I can't get that deep.
And next podcast, I can't guarantee this, but this in the future coming up, we had a great discussion. Trust rank.
Trust rank.
Oh, yeah, coming soon.
Trust
Yeah.
rank coming, so I can't guarantee it's going to be next podcast. We can do a little bit more research, but trust
Around the
rank
corner.
is
Yeah.
coming soon, and additional changes to the Google algorithm.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Until the next podcast, my name's Chris Burris.
Saul Hansen.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.